So when you set up your Toniebox, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need the ID of the Toniebox, which if you flip it over, it's on the bottom where the charger would go. You're also going to need your network name and your network password that you want to connect it to. And you're also going to need your network to be on a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, not a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. I went through this on another video. I'll link to that below. And then when you have that, you can get started. So the next thing you're going to do is either on a computer, go to the Tonies.com website, or on your phone or tablet, you're going to download the Tonies app and open up the app, and you're going to need to create an account if you don't have one already. Creating an account is pretty simple. You're going to do your email, create a password, it's going to send you an email to verify it, and then you'll be all set and logged in. Now that we have all that, let's plug in the Toniebox and get going. So first we're going to open the app or log into the website. And then in our collection, you're going to see sorted by Tonies and Toniebox. I'm going to hit the plus button to add my Toniebox. And when I go to add the Toniebox, it's going to tell me all the things I need, which we just went over. So the first thing it's going to need is the Toniebox ID, which is on the bottom of the box where the charger port goes in. So if you didn't do it before, you can flip the box over, take the charger off, and you'll see a Toniebox ID at the bottom. Jot that down on a notepad, enter it in now. Once you have that entered correctly, it says wake up the Toniebox. So to do that, there's some connection instructions here. The first thing it's going to say is to pinch both of the ears on the top of the Toniebox for about 5 seconds till you hear an audio tone, and the LED light on the Toniebox pad is going to turn blue and flash. If that happens correctly, then wait about 20 seconds until you hear the audio tone again. Tap continue. When you hit the continue button, you have to select from those lists of the LED light possibilities the one that the box presents to you. When you do that, it should say that it wants your phone to join the Toniebox network that it just created out of your Toniebox. Now you should see a pop-up on your phone that says My Tonies wants to join the Wi-Fi network, and it has a name Toniebox - some letters. And go ahead and hit join. What's happening is the Toniebox is acting like a mini Wi-Fi router just for the moment, and that'll give you the ability to configure the Toniebox directly from your phone. On the next screen it'll say choose your Wi-Fi. Now that you're connected directly to the Toniebox, you want to tell the Toniebox which Wi-Fi to use. From here, select the same Wi-Fi network that your phone is connected to, or the Wi-Fi network you want it to be able to connect to. And on the next screen, you just have to enter the password and click continue. And again, I'm showing you the one where it goes through and works fine, but I'm going to show you all the times it fails next, so you get a sense of how to recover from those failures if you happen to run into them. Once you get the network password in, it's going to say connecting to your Wi-Fi network and updating device. It could take a couple minutes here. At the end of a successful setup, you'll see this congratulations screen. It'll say congratulations, your Toniebox is ready to play. At this point, you can disconnect the phone and start putting Tonies on the Toniebox, and it'll work as needed to go out to the internet to download content. You can personalize it from here as well. I have a whole video on that and I'll link to it below, but you can set things like maximum volume and give it a name and all those kind of things. So let's now go through the cases where it doesn't work. And in this case where you've entered in the network password and nothing's happening, it's not moving to the page telling you that it's downloading updates. In this case, you can close it out by hitting the X in the upper right, unplug and replug in the Toniebox on its charger, take the Toniebox off its charger for 10 seconds and put it back on, quit the app on your phone or tablet, and then restart the whole process. This happened to me, and I had to really sit for a minute and let everything clear before I restarted the process and was able to get through it successfully. In another case where you get the error with the exclamation point, you can basically just hit the X at the top of the screen, and if you go back to your home page and back to your Toniebox screen and it's not showing up as a registered Toniebox, you can go ahead and start the process over again by hitting the plus button and entering in the Toniebox ID as we did in the successful example. So in this example where it's an error with a big exclamation point, what I did to recover was close out the screen, go back and refresh your app by clicking on a different tab on the bottom like the home screen and then going back to your Toniebox screen on the right. And if you do see a partially configured Toniebox, you can go ahead and delete it by clicking on the Toniebox name and scrolling all the way to the bottom, clicking the Advanced Settings button, and under Advanced Settings there's an option to remove this Toniebox from the household. It looks like a trash can. So go ahead and click that, and on the prompt it's going to give you next. Are you sure you want to remove from household? And just say delete. And what you do there is you're kind of clearing out the history of that Toniebox being in a stuck state during setup. So then you can go through the process again. That's how to recover from that. In some cases where you just can't get back on track and you're in the middle of the setup and you're having an issue, you may unplug the Toniebox from the charger and let it sit off the charger for 10 seconds and then put the charger plug back in. You should hear a little beep when you do that. If you like this video, please consider hitting the thumbs up or hit the bell to subscribe or share it with somebody else who you think might find it useful. Also check out our reviews of the Tonies themselves, which we do every Saturday, and we're going on a mission to do 25 Tonies in 2025, starting in January. Thanks again for watching.